Welcome to Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. The Catholic Church has lost its Pope, and the world has lost a champion for the most vulnerable among us. Pope Francis died this morning after 12 years leading the Catholic Church. And from day one, he sought to push the church to the margins and the marginalized. And in the end, many found a way in. Here's Kent.
What do you need, sir?
As someone who has dedicated her life to lending a hand to those overlooked by most of society,
I can give you $5.
Mary Jo Copeland, founder of Sharing and Caring Hands,
So let it be joyful and hope,
knows she's lost a kindred spirit.
persevering in our prayer. The poor usually aren't talked about as much Pope Francis did.
Talk from the leader of the Catholic Church is powerful in its own right. Copeland says the Pope's impact went beyond words, something she was lucky enough to experience firsthand.
I was able to go see him and get a hug.
What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. There was a peace that radiates from the man. I mean, I never met the other popes, but when I walked in there, you could just see this joy in what he does. Beer at 10 o'clock, and I'll take care of you. There's a joy in helping people. I mean, I have the same thing. Those are your children. The Pope would have loved to be with me here. Is this shelter?
And it's why, on a day many Catholics gathered to mourn,
They've been here 4 years.
she continued serving the poor as he would have loved.
He doesn't have to suffer anymore. I'm sure this last few months were hard for him because he was used to being in the crowds and traveling and moving, and I'm sure that he felt he didn't want to go, but now he can go home and be with his Lord that called him and be rewarded for the impact that he's made on our world.
In a lot of ways, maybe his biggest impact was on those outside the church.
Father Chris Collins, Vice President of Mission for the University of St. Thomas, says the Pope had a knack for connecting with the younger generation, such as in his encyclical letter on climate change titled Our Common Home.
But even there, it was all about how the poor are those who are most affected when the environment is degraded in any number of ways. It's not just about the environment, it's about people who suffer because of it.
And he challenged the church and world leaders with the same kind of radical compassion.
Especially migrants and refugees. You know, he had a very particular focus on caring for those who've been displaced for all kinds of different reasons, whether it's by war or other reasons.
He had to challenge them so they could maybe take a different look at the way that they're doing things. I really believe that. And you know the biggest impact I think he made? He didn't judge anybody. And the world judges people. If they're standing on a corner with a sign, oh, that guy's on welfare, we can't help him. He probably... If we judge people, we can't love them. And that really is what the whole story is. Love is what they're needing. And I think that the Pope showed that to the world. Now and at the hour of our death, amen. God loved the poor. That message was something I felt from him. Okay, come on. I did. I'm going to miss that man.
Moving forward, many will be wondering where the church goes from here. Mary Jo says she's not into speculation, but whoever it is, she said, quote, I hope that he walks in the shoes of Pope Francis with the same challenges, with the same attitude, and the same love. Jana?
Yeah, Kent, there's been a lot of talk today honoring stories just like Mary Jo shared, and then talk of who's it going to be next. I talked to someone who covers the church, and he said almost the same thing she said, is that I hope it's someone who takes from Pope Francis that central mission of helping those in need.
Yeah, and the thing that really stuck with me today, the phrase is radical humility. You think about how that applies to him, but you think about how it could apply to so many people. Mm-hmm. The act of kindness can be radical when you push back.
Right, and that phrase, who am I to judge? He said those very words during his papacy, which is really interesting. Right. Thank you, Kent, so much.